Wow, what an important topic. National Suicide Prevention Week. We really need to have this every week of the year. Kristi with Rachel's Challenge, Freddie Scott with Pivotal Moments Media. Let's talk about the root causes, because it really starts with meaningful connections.
That's right. So when we look at the root causes of suicide, the CDC has identified one and only one prevention for suicide, and that is connectedness. Connectedness is defined as human connection. So it's this complex problem with a lot of factors that feed into it, but with a simple solution, and that's connection. So if connection is the solution, then really what is the problem? Isolation is the problem.
It is the problem. And Freddie, this is something that's near and dear to your heart with Pivotal Moments Media.
Yeah, this is a work that unfortunately has touched many people. You'd be surprised with how many people have actually been impacted by suicide or death by suicide. And when that happens, one of the first things that tends to happen is people wonder, what could I have done?
Yes.
Why didn't I see the signs? What caused this? And so when you start realizing that a lot of the things that we're talking about is picking up the signs when someone is starting to isolate, understanding when you feel like you're beginning to isolate. Now, and I'll tell you how important this is. It wasn't until I actually got certified in mental health first aid and identifying signs of depression that I realized that I was actually depressed, but didn't know that I was depressed. How could you say that? Because literally what my isolation of playing video games, not wanting to return phone calls, not wanting to go out in public, wanting just to sort of be in my own cocoon, that was my path of isolation. That was a part of my depression to deal or cope with what I was going through. But I didn't know that by definition, that actually is depression and could take you towards a deeper spiral that could actually be more devastating.
What you have just said today could be life-changing for anybody who gets to hear this today. Well, that brings up a very important point. And what are the signs? So Freddie just talked about one, and he didn't even realize that was a sign within his own self.
That's right. It's really important to note that this can sneak up on you.
Yeah.
And so it's important to kind of be aware of and recognize other signs of that kind of isolation. Depression, anxiety, feelings of loneliness in addition to that isolation. Those are all things to be on the lookout for. And you know what? Speaking of isolation, we had an isolation problem before the pandemic.
Yeah, we
It was
did.
exacerbated by all kinds of things, not the least of which was social media usage, right? Social media usage is dopamine hits from likes and comments and engagement, but it's a faux connection. It's not real connection because it's not balanced out with the oxytocin that we get with in real life human interaction.
Like we're getting right now.
Which is what
Yes.
we all need. We all
Right.
need security, identity, and belonging. Those are the three ingredients to human connection, right? And so social media sort of acted as a faux connection in that way. So that was before the pandemic. Then the pandemic hit, and we had the forced isolation. There was a physical isolation on top of that almost chosen isolation from social media and other factors. And it turned into a little bit of a mental health apocalypse for a lot of people. And so being on the lookout for those things and then making a real effort to make strong, meaningful, in real life human connection, that's a really good preventative factor for
Key.
suicide. Yeah.
It is key. Well, you both are doing amazing work, and there are a lot of people out there who need more information, more resources, and to continue learning from both of you. So why don't you tell us, Kristi, how they can get in touch with Rachel's Challenge?
Rachel'sChallenge.org.
All right. And Pivotal Moments Media.
PivotalMomentsMedia.com.
All right. Both of you, please keep up the great work, and thank you for all you're doing.
Thank you.